of our work. I now would like to welcome a friend of Learning Leaders, someone who has the esteemed honor of not only greeting you this morning, but also presenting the Learning Leaders Volunteer of the Year Award. We know him well from his former work in the Bronx Borough President's Office, but recognizing that parents and communities together impact student success, Chancellor Walcott has elevated that charge by naming our guest as the first ever Executive Director of Family and Community Engagement for the Department of Education. Please welcome this morning, Jesse Mohica. Good morning,
Jesse. Good morning, everyone. It's such an honor to be here today. As I was sitting hearing the Commissioner's remarks, and it just really resonated very powerfully with me, in particular, his personal story. And as all of the families and volunteers here know, the impact of the work that you do just resounds so strongly in the individuals you volunteers with lives. And I know that from a very personal point of view, because I'm standing here because of the sacrifice of so many people who worked with me throughout the years growing up. And when the Chancellor called me and asked me to take on this responsibility, the first thought that came to me was the magnitude of the responsibility and the importance of this position. And I understand and understood very clearly what he was asking of me because of the personal experiences that I've gone through in my life. And what went through my mind was two experiences. One was many, many years ago in the Lower East Side, sitting on my mother's lap, learning how to read. And my mother, English was not her first language. And she would sit with me day in and day out and read books in broken English to me. And as I was learning to read, Mom was learning to read. And when the Chancellor was speaking to me, I thought of my mother. And I thought I would have never received this call or be asked to lead this division of family and community engagement had it not been for the sacrifice of her and for all, in particular at PS 134 in the Lower East Side in Manhattan. Someone from PS 134, all right. But that stayed with me, and that was 40 years ago, and that never left me. So when I called my mother, and I turned into like a 60-year-old boy, and I said, Mom, guess what? The Chancellor has asked me to take on this responsibility, and I want to thank you, Mom, because if it were not for you, I would not have this opportunity. The second thing that ran through my mind was as a father, because I can have many titles in this life, and I'm honored to have them, but the greatest title I will ever have is father of two sons. And 10 years ago, my son Adam, beautiful boy who was developing normally, stopped speaking. And he lost the ability to speak, and he lost the ability to smile, and he started to retreat into himself. And we took him to the doctor and found out that Adam was diagnosed with autism. And as all of you here know, at times, at our most difficult moment, it is a call to serve. It is a call to rise above oneself, to give of oneself, and to do things that one maybe didn't think were possible to do. And what I started to do in the borough of the Bronx was to go out and learn about education, because I knew that if I was going to get my son back, it was going to be through education. It was going to be with working with teachers and working with families and working with others. And I am forever grateful for all the parents and the volunteers and the teachers who crawled on the floor when my son wouldn't maintain eye contact with them and helped me connect with my son. So now I speak to all of you, and the reason I mention those two stories is the fact that this is the work that you do day in and day out. This is the sacrifice that you do day in and day out for all that you work with. And the people that you work with will remember it forever, because I've never forgotten all of the kindness and support that I've received, in particular in my most difficult moments. So when Chancellor Walcott had asked me to lead the Division of Family and Community Engagement, I said yes, and I will work very, very hard on behalf of our families to make sure that our families are supported, engaged, to make sure that information is available, to make sure that on whatever issue you can come to our office and receive the support necessary to help your children. And I do this because I understand from a very personal point of view the impact of that. So I want to thank all of you for the work that you do and let you know that I will work hard with you on everything that we do at the Division for Family and Community Engagement.